What's going on, guys? This is the MMA Complex, and my name is Josh.
And I'm James.
And it is, what is it? What's today? God damn. Tuesday, December 18th, 2018. Not too far away from Christmas. Right?
Yeah,
You got everything ready? You got your gifts already bought and paid for?
I believe so. I think I need well, I don't need anything. I might just add on to stuff that I already have.
Yeah. I got most of the stuff ready. I think I just need to shop for my parents, but I got pretty much everybody else out of the way. I just have to stop trying to buy stuff for myself. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, that's the thing.
like I come across shit, I'm like, man. But then
Yeah, I mean that's the thing with myself, and I sound like a complete asshole. But I go in and I go, "Fuck! Do I really want to buy this for this person, and do I want to buy this for myself?"
yeah, I know, because there's so many deals going on right now where I'm like,
it's like, God damn,
damn.
I'm gonna have to go to my nephews. Come on.
I know, I'm like, yeah, like $80 for like, let's say one or two people. I'm like, I could do like this. Like, there's some today I bought some Adidas like jogging pants, and I'm like, I felt I wanted them because they're on sale, and then I would have just ended up spending that money on somebody else, which I'm gonna have to actually spend some money on. Again, my parents, but.
Oh, I think I need one person. I think the Secret Santa, because I go to my girlfriend's Christmas party.
Oh shit! Yeah, that too, man. I had to do Secret Santa
and
at work.
Their minimum was like $30. I was like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, I did 25,
Oh.
and then I had some people that I work with that I wanted to get them something because I know their families aren't really around here, and since I work at night, I have a small team with me, so I wanted to get something for them. But so I got them some wine and shit like that.
That's good.
Yeah, but a lot of money being spent right now. Luckily, my family, like what we're doing here at the house, and what I think my dad's family is doing, we're doing like Secret Santas.
Okay. So, yeah, my sister actually asked me to be Secret Santa. I told her no.
Yeah.
I spend so much money. I don't want to spend any more money.
Well, did you buy? Because you have a lot of nieces and nephews and stuff like that.
Yeah,
so,
I finished all of them.
Oh, you finished all of them? Because
Secret Santa, I turned them down.
I know, because the kids, like, you kind of have to get the kids something.
Yeah, especially my nephews and nieces, because I'm their only uncle.
Yeah.
So if I don't get them a gift, then won't.
Who's gonna get them something? Yeah, that's all. It like when you do Secret Santa, it's good to.
It's more for the adults.
Yeah, it's only should
the
only
kids
be for
are
the adults.
guaranteed.
Yeah, because I feel bad. Like, you don't want to do Secret Santas for kids.
No,
somebody's not gonna end up with anything they want.
No, it's basically for my mom, my siblings.
Yeah,
Secret Santa, but I say no because I had too much stuff to buy already.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I did some. Yeah, to finish most of it, I got some stuff to do, but we had a lot of fights to get into. We had a lot of fights last weekend. You had 2 Bellator events. You had Michael Chandler winning his title back. That's a big win for him. That was Friday night, and that was on DAZN and Paramount Network. It was for the lightweight title, so he had unanimous decision against Brett Primus. He had Javi Ayala defeating Frank Mir, submission. Not submission, but it was a tap out due to strikes, or due to an injury, actually, because I think Frank injured something in his jaw, I think, during the fight. Were they pressed up against a cage, I think, when it happened?
Yeah,
right?
so yeah, I actually recorded that fight, so I love recording fights, so you can fast forward to the BS.
Yeah.
But I mean, Frank Mir had that. I mean, the first round, he had control.
Yeah,
he was on top for most of the round. He attempted submission attempts, but then his opponent kind of escaped
Ayala?
in the second round. Yeah, and then he came back and he was pushing forward. He was like a Terminator.
Yeah,
he was eating shots, but he was giving more shots than eating. And Frank Mir just couldn't take it, I guess, and he tapped out against the cage.
Yeah, he said something in his jaw broke, and he didn't want to continue.
And Frank Mir was a bloody mess.
Yeah, I heard. Yeah, his face is bloody, his nose. I think if it wasn't for the injury, he probably would have pressed forward, and maybe he would have came back in the third.
It just seemed like Frank Mir was getting tired.
Yeah,
and he didn't like getting hit.
I mean, no, not with Frank Mir. Frank Mir doesn't take shots too well.
And you watch that fight and you go, man, like, why? I don't even want him to fight anymore.
He shouldn't really. I mean, the guy's pushing 40, if he's not even in his 40s already.
And and he just looks like he's he's not in shape.
Yeah,
and it seems like he's become one of those gatekeepers that you put him on because of his name, but is he going to win another fight? Probably not. But attract viewers because
He's Frank
he's a
Mir.
name. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you hope that if he does continue, that he can rebound in some way because you don't want to see a guy like that take too much damage at this stage of his career.
And no disrespect to like his opponent or Frank, but it is what it is. I mean, if he can't beat Ayaya, then I mean, is he gonna contend for a title anytime soon? Probably not.
Probably not. No.
So I don't know.
Like,
I mean, he's really good at commentating. Just do that.
yeah, I see. I see. There's no reason why he just can't stay on the broadcast team for Bellator. I think he does a great job.
Yeah, and I think Bellator should do what the UFC's doing and get different guys commentating different fights.
Yeah,
You know, because Morrow is not always there because he's coming to the WWE as well and Showtime. So why not have Frank be part of the team?
yeah. Which I know Frank has done fights for them, right? And they have Chael on there. I think they
Yeah,
have
but you know,
Jake
obviously,
Glazer.
yeah, but I think obviously with Frank, he's not contracted because he just did the Golden Boy promotion,
That's true.
unless Coker allowed him to do it. But I mean, I don't want to see him fight anymore. I think that he's done everything in the sport that he can, and he should just move on to something that's safer and pays probably more money than what he makes
Yeah,
now.
I think they also have Jen Brown. She's one of their female. She's like the what's her name? Um,
Oh, Juliana from Combate.
I mean, I guess like that, but I mean, Juliana now. What's her name? Karen.
Oh, Karen Bryant.
Karen Bryant from the UFC. She's almost like Karen Bryant, Bellator's version of Karen Bryant, I guess. Um, but yeah, Jen Brown. I think she does. Jen Brown does a great job. Super hot. I think I don't know. We usually see her at the Bellator fights.
Yeah,
Um, damn, she's
a
very attractive.
diabetes.
Yeah, she definitely is. Um, but she does a great job. So I think Frank Mir will do great. I know he's done some work with them. I would hope that he goes that route. On the card, he has AJ McKee picking up another win. The guy's just on a roll. Juliana Velasquez and Sam Cecilia picking up a win. That's Friday night's card right there. What do you think is up with Chandler? Do you think he? I mean, do you think there are enough fights for him at lightweight now, or is it just because he
I
just
mean, I
signed again
think
with Bellator? I think so. I think he's content staying there.
yeah, I don't know. I think Brett Primus is his only fight that's. I mean that
There's not a whole lot in
there
for him.
isn't. I mean, I don't know why he doesn't go to the UFC and test himself there.
Just finish out his career over there. I don't know. I don't understand why, but maybe he's just not ready yet.
I mean, it makes him look bad because people question, whether
Yeah.
he wants to. But
Because you see what Eddie did over there, and Eddie did well, and Eddie's, now he's at one championship.
but although he won that fight against Brett Primus, it makes you wonder how he would do in the UFC
Hmm.
because Primus had moments in that fight.
I don't know if we ever really see it, especially.
No, I don't
I
think
don't think so.
I don't think we're going to see either. But I'm saying, hypothetically speaking, if he were to go to the UFC,
Yeah.
you watch that fight against Brett, and it makes you wonder: is he the same person? No. Is he the same fighter? Probably not.
No.
And would he contend for a title? I don't know. It's hard to say.
I don't know.
He won the fight, but Primus had his moments in that fight.
And let's say he does finish out his contract with Bellator, he can always move on so that he could stay loyal to Bellator, move to one championship, float around. It's not the end all be, and it's not a bad place to be either
No,
in
it's
Bellator.
not. I just don't think he wants to go to the UFC. I don't think he wants to compete with the best. And
And
you look at the top 5 of the UFC, they're
especially at lightweight,
shoot.
they're killers.
Yeah.
But it would be nice to see somebody like him thrown into the mix, but we're not going to see it.
No.
And it will be past his prime if we do see it.
He looks like he's past his prime now.
I know. I think he's been in a lot of wars. I mean, he's getting to that point where he's going to at a crossroads, I think.
Mhm.
Yeah, and Saturday you had Bellator Hawaii, and that was with featuring Alima McFarland defeating Valerie Turnip, defending her flyweight title in her hometown in her Honolulu, Hawaii, and just looking great, and just finally get that Hawaii card that she's always wanted. And I know Max Holloway's been wanting that, but Bellator's done it, and they had a pretty successful event. Liam Nagiri knocking out King Mo, who's another person I think is towards the end of his career. Naming Gracie defeating Ed Ruth, which is an opening round, which is I think that was a big shocker for a lot of people. I mean, not that Neiman Gracie is no slouch, no, not at all. But a prospect like Ed Ruth and submitting him, it's you know that's crazy. But Lyoto Machida picking up a win in his Bellator debut against Rafael Carvalho. Um, Split decision right there. It was a close fight. But Alime, picking up a win. What do you against Valerie Turner? It was a quick. It was a nice submission triangle in the third round. I mean, big win for her. Big moment for her. What do you make of the whole event? Bellator's a double header, especially with her. Alime.
I rewatched. I mean, I watched the fight online, and I, I think I mentioned to you off camera how we've known Alima before she became, you know, the star that she is, and just seeing her not only rise to the occasion, but the fact that she's getting so much love and so much attention.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy to see because we've known her for a bit now, but as far as the performance, I think she killed. I mean, she surprised me. I thought Valley
Was gonna
would beat
take her on
her,
the feet. Yeah.
or yeah, but I think Alima she came prepared, and I mean people talk about her. She's
Well,
involved with the striking, but I think her submission game is
yeah. I mean,
probably the
her
best.
her striking has evolved, but
Her
her
grappling is
her
amazing,
cage awareness, her fight IQ is up there now. It's
and
getting
then
close.
she's so calm in there.
She's so calm. Um, and I think I felt like because she's so proud Hawaiian and all that she would rise to the occasion. But
But the
we
fact,
all knew her submission game was going to be
right? But the
the
fact that so much pressure was on her because first
oh
event
yeah,
in Hawaii, she is the star of the weekend. They brought her out, the previous night, and they were showcasing her all weekend long. So that's a lot of pressure on someone like McFarlane, who just burst into the scene and she delivered, and
she did.
it's really impressive. And it shows you that
Yeah,
she's gonna just get scarier and more dangerous
yeah, and
if it
happy
continues.
we're happy for her. She's good friends of ours, and every time we see her, it's always we always look for her at the events. And just happy for her success because I mean, even though she's being pulled in a bunch of different directions, she seems like she's still the same person. She's not jaded. Um,
Like most
she's just
fighters are
enjoying.
with us.
Yeah, she's just enjoying the ride, and she's other people when they hit a certain moment in their careers, they forget about the people. Other people like they won't take your interviews anymore. That
Yeah.
kind of shit. Um, but like with Elima, she's same person, and but you kind of like let her be because she's that rising star. Everybody's talking about her
Yeah.
now. Also that night you had Fox's last card, UFC's last card with Fox 31. You had Ayakinta defeating Kevin Lee and a unanimous decision 5-round fight. You had Edson Barbosa picking up a win over Dan Hooker. Rob Font defeating Sergio Pettis, and Charles Oliveira submitting Jim Miller in the opening fight. I mean, Charles Oliveira picking up a win, Font picking up a win, looking good. Let's go to the Barboza and Dan Hooker fight. What did you think about this one? How did this one?
Yeah. I mean, if
Great.
there's one word that would describe that fight, it's heart. Hooker took some crazy shots. I think the referee should have stopped that fight in that fourth round.
Yeah.
I mean, he kept, like Barbosa gave him some nasty kicks that hurt
Punches,
him really
body
bad.
shots.
But those leg kicks are
Yeah. Those
ooh,
spinning back kicks to the stomach.
and then
Ooh.
those knee shots to the gut and the face, and then he was just jabbing him and like
What started it
pretty
off though
much
was the
the
leg
leg
kicks.
kicks. Yeah, those
Oof.
leg kicks. I think by the end of the first round, he was already limping.
Yeah.
But then, I mean, Hooker, he stayed in that fight. He was too tough for his own good. And then it ended with that nasty kick to the body that took Hooker down. But goddamn, I mean, impressive for both fighters. I mean,
Yeah.
Hart and then Barbosa. I mean, I was impressed on his cardio. I mean, people were on the broadcast team were saying that he was tired, but he kept throwing those
Yeah.
combinations, and
Yeah.
that takes a lot of endurance
Endurance.
to throw that
Oh
many
no! I
combinations.
mean Edson, he has endurance, especially going like a war, like when he had with Ferguson.
Yeah,
Um, but yeah, no, he with Hooker, he had the right game plan. He put the pressure, he kept him on the back foot, make a close fight, dirty fight. But he doesn't have the wrestling
yeah.
that you need to defeat
He
a guy like Edson.
he was beating Barbosa when they were fighting in close
Yeah,
range. But once you give Barbosa space, he's gonna start hitting you with some
yeah,
nasty shots, and that's what happened.
yeah. That's exactly what happened. It says he doesn't have the wrestling to threaten our Barbosa stand up or like make him question shots. Um, you after eventually you're gonna leave yourself open to
Yeah,
for Barbosa to land some offensive attacks, and I think Barbosa just was calculated enough to like land the right shots at the right time with those leg kicks and really hurt uh, Dan Hooker early,
yeah.
and then kind of just set in motion the rest of the fight. But yeah, I mean, I mean, I'm not one to necessarily like to fights that end early. If it could, it definitely could have been stopped. I think not that it was like. I mean, you have like Daniel Cormier like stop this fight, stop this fight. You know, I mean, I didn't think it was that dramatic, but it but you could have stepped in if you would have seen at some point he could have stepped in. He didn't have to like
I don't
get to
like
the
it
point.
because the long effect of a fighter. Like
Yeah,
you don't want to see a fighter get
but
hit that much in the head.
a lot of it was more body shots. A lot of it was body shots. So I get it, but there was a moment. There
It's
was,
still dangerous.
and yeah, definitely. And there was still no moment where I mean, there were still moments where Dan was like firing back, which was like, yeah, I think if he cowered up or that's just it's really just a toughness of Dan Hooker, because most guys probably would have just covered up or even with that getting hit with in the kidneys or whatever. Like a lot of guys would have just went down, but Dan Hooker's so tough that he just stood up, winced, and was even still firing back after that. And it's just like you got to let the guy go. I guess you got to let the guy just go on his shield. I mean,
Yeah, but
it,
when the other guy's not even
yeah,
doing any kind of offense, and you just seen this guy getting just beat
but
up.
he was still pressing forward and he was still landing shots. Where I don't
Yeah,
think it was as bad as let's say Stipe and Mark Hunt. Like that fight was
yeah,
like, oh fuck, it's like he wasn't doing anything or like I don't know other beatdowns. Um, I thought it was I could definitely see a case for it being stopped early.
yeah.
Um,
I'm
but I'm not because it wasn't an accumulation of just punching and punching. Like when guys are just covering up and they're just getting hit, 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 hit. Like those are a lot,
I,
and they go on way too long.
but I think I'd rather have something like that than
Yeah,
having a guy over a period of time get beat up.
get beat. Yeah, yeah. No, I mean I see a case for it. I'm not disagreeing with
Yeah,
that. I see there's a case, but I can live with
what
it going.
happened?
Yeah, I could live with it. Yeah. So yeah, I mean that's basically what I think. I could probably just live with it,
Right.
But no, I definitely see that. But overall, it was a good night for the UFC. Good night for Fox. I think it did over 2 million views. Close to three. Biggest, nah, I say closer to two. But biggest viewing audience in like 2 years,
You
which
know,
is saying a lot because two compared to like other programming, it's not the biggest, but
what's
it is
crazy
what it
about
is.
that number is that 2 million viewers on the Monday Night Raw is considered low ratings for the WWE.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Like that's a network.
Dude,
That's cable. That's cable television type.
the WWE averages 3 million viewers a week
I know
on
that.
television,
Yeah. Um.
and that just shows you that pro wrestling is always gonna be a bigger sport than MMA.
No, definitely, and that's
That's
why
so
I'm like
crazy.
like even just cable television, like a show on FX or something like that. You know
But like after like you look at all the shows on cable, they're still the highest rated show on cable.
yeah, yeah.
It's
No,
nuts,
WWE is huge. I don't think
nuts.
it's
That's crazy. I think last one they had the lowest ratings in 2018, and I think it dropped to like 2 million. That was the
yeah.
lowest.
That was the lowest. Yeah, no, because
It's
what helps
mind-boggling,
is that they have
mind-boggling.
they have the audience, the young audience. They are also able to dictate of what happens, who to push, how long they stay out there.
Hmm.
MMA stars come and go quick. You get
Yeah, that's
maybe
true.
a year or two, you're gone. Then there's a lull period of like, only the hardcores really stay. And it's always been that fringe sport to where it's like, it's not going to get the big. audience because we know guys who watch sports a lot, and I most of the guys I know they watch every other sport
But
and
MMA,
know everything about those sports, even soccer. Um,
it's
but
crazy,
but
huh?
when it but guys, most guys, I'll say nine. You put line nine, 10 guys up. You line 10 of them up. You have one hardcore MMA fan, maybe, and you have probably one guy that watches every now and then. And not just MMA. I'm talking about just fighting in general.
And which
Guy,
is weird because you would
it's
think
weird.
that males between 18 and 34 would would be into fighting.
Yeah, you
Because
would
I
think.
mean, because like if someone is out on the street and see a fight break out, they're immediately glued to that
Yeah,
fight. But when it comes to actual fighting, they don't care.
they. It's
It's
it.
crazy.
It is crazy. It's like a YouTube video of some guys who do not know how to fight in the parking lot
Gets millions of
could get
views.
5 million views on YouTube, but it could go viral. But for it to get male 18 to 35 or 18 to whatever to sit on a Saturday night and watch just a regular fight night card,
It's
it's
crazy.
crazy. And so that goes to show. And I think WWE has the mainstream because it's also been around for so long, and it's like because people know it's mostly just entertainment. Um, it's able to transcend and stay relevant a lot longer. Where MMA, I think, is so new, and people, again, guys don't watch fighting. It's hard.
It's
It's
frustrating.
like running into like somebody and being like you to run into somebody that knows fighting or knows especially knows MMA. Like
I
I'll
think
just
I
be happy to
think
talk to somebody with boxing. There's an older guy I
yeah,
know loves boxing. I'll talk to him about boxing,
yeah.
whatever I know.
I think when I first met you, I think the MMA connection was there right away, and I was really surprised by it.
Yeah, that's I'm still surprised to this day. No, not between us, but I'm surprised to this day running into people, and I'm
Yeah,
like, oh shit, you watch fighting? Oh, cool.
yeah. Let's talk.
Let's talk.
But I
But
think the saddest thing about the 1834
yeah.
thing is that the UFC or MMA is not catering to me anymore because I'm past the 34-year-old. That's sad.
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah,
part of the ratio anymore. That's kind of sad.
yeah. I mean, it is, and I don't get it. I don't understand it because
It's
I
mind-boggling. It
it is
is.
like you would think it's such a primal, basic instinct
Yeah, like
of
you see like
people.
girls, like when you see like hear about a girl 9 to 5, yeah, like you expect that, but with guys, you would
Yeah,
think that it's in our DNA, but
it should be automatic, right?
it's not. For whatever reason,
It's not.
they know about soccer and tennis or whatever, and when it comes to the quote unquote a man sport, they don't know jack crap
They
about it.
don't know anything, and even the people that I run into that know about the sport, like they only know up to a certain extent. They don't. They can't hold a conversation like we can,
Yeah,
you know, and and
their
like
their extent is Conor McGregor, and that's it.
yeah, yeah, and we know people or like have talked to people that like know even way more than us and like can remember fucking like Ariel Hawani, like remember whole cards on a specific day and shit like that. So there's people on there's levels, I guess, but I think we're fairly knowledgeable about a lot of it, and we can get into really deep.
Yeah,
And we don't. That's rare to
yeah.
get into a conversation with somebody deep. That's rare. That's
Hmm.
rare. Super rare. But yeah, I don't. So that's why I think with these views, it's big and they count a lot, and I think it does count a lot because of that
I mean,
very reason.
especially now when we live in an era of oversaturation,
Oh
the
yeah,
fact that it got 2 million viewers is it's remarkable,
I think the main event and the
and the
co-main
fact
event
that the
are
UFC
huge.
wasn't really promoting this
They weren't
card,
promoting it at
anyways.
all, really, from what I could tell. I don't know. I don't watch regular TV, but I didn't see anything on social media was like barely there.
Yeah, I
It was
think I think
barely,
I
and
think
it's still
Hawaii
cold.
was the and Bellator was the event of the
I
weekend.
don't think these numbers. I think these numbers would be cut in half if it was like on Fox
Yeah,
One. It would be cut in half. I think
yeah,
what helped it. It was a Saturday night. There wasn't a lot going on. It's the holidays, and it was on Big Fox.
yeah,
That's why. But hardcores definitely would have tuned in.
yeah.
Um,
It was fun. I mean, I went home from work that night and I had like two fights to watch. I had two cards to watch. And I just sat home and I just watched because my girlfriend was shopping. So I was like, perfect. I can watch. I can stay home and just watch fights.
Yeah. No,
It's fun.
I had to watch it on I got through most of it at home and then I watched the main event on the road, but because I just have the Fox app.
Yeah, perfect.
Um, a couple of topics before we get out of here. You have Sage Norcut, officially with one championship, saying that he's going to get multiple titles over there. He wants multiple titles, um, at least a championship belt. Do you think he can pull it off?
I think so. I think. I mean, he's only 22 years old, and I think before he came to Team Alpha Male, I think his weakness was his wrestling. Now he's on a team where they focus on wrestling. He has someone like Uriah Faber guiding him to success,
Mm-hmm.
and I think him, you know, fighting quote unquote less competition or
Yeah,
lesser competition is a good thing for him. I think he can be a name. I mean, he's already going there with a name, and he can be an established star, win a bout, and still be young and come back to the UFC. So I think the sky's the limit for this kid, and I can see Sage, winning a title.
yeah. I think so. I think he could definitely be a contender. I'm not familiar with their division enough to know his possibilities of him getting that shot, or that title. So maybe I think there's a good chance that he will at least contend for titles up there
Yeah,
and
for
be a
sure.
big name. I think he'll
Yeah,
be a huge name in Asia. Huge.
and he has a lot of momentum coming in to one.
Yeah.
He's on a 3-5 win streak, right? It's something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. So I think he's well on his way.
And he's only
Um,
22.
yeah, Nick Diaz in negotiations that might not come to fruition with the UFC. Um, he's talking about wanting to go with Bellator. He's talking about the conversation has stalled with UFC because they're lowballing him. Um, yes or no? You think we'll see him?
Oh no, I mean it's a Diaz brother. I mean, like to quote Nate Diaz, are you surprised? I'm not surprised. I mean,
No.
that's how the Diaz brothers run, and you and I always our Bellator events coming, and the two fighters that we see constant is the Diaz brothers.
The
They're
Diaz
always at the
brothers. They're
Bellator
always at the
events.
Bellator events.
I mean, they're from Stockton, which is not far away from San Jose.
But
It's
do we see him fight at all in 2019?
no,
I
I
don't
don't think so.
I don't think so. Do you think this is just another ploy, like another tactic of his to avoid
I
fighting?
mean,
But yeah,
I
the UFC
mean,
is screwing me over. The
they're
UFC is screwing me over. Is
they're
that
very it's very transparent. I mean, everyone knows how the Diaz brothers work. I mean, they can only pull cry wolf for so long. It's just the Diaz brothers being the Diaz
yeah,
brothers,
yeah.
and I think no one. I think people are starting not to care anymore.
I think it's
I
getting
think
to,
they're
especially with Nick.
yeah.
It's getting
I
to that
think they're
point.
just kind of frustrated with them being hot and cold, and I don't
Fighting once a year, fighting
yeah,
not even that.
and then they talk like they have value. I mean, yeah, their value is there because of their last name. I think Nate, his star is fading because it's been so long that he's been in the cage, and I think he can with Nate. I think that Connor fight. I mean the the love or the push that he got after the Connor fight can only go so far,
Yep.
and I think he's slowly fading where no one really cares. And then with Nick, he's been talking this game for since he lost
4 years
against
now.
against Anderson Silva, or that I mean he won, but it was like he got suspended or whatever.
Yeah,
I think people are kind of getting frustrated with the Diaz brothers, and the sport moves on. And when you're not relevant in the sport's gonna move on, and anything's
yeah,
happening with those guys.
yeah. And you watch Nick. The guy's not training. He's not fucking. He's not
Yeah, if you
dedicated to
follow
the
him on social
sport.
media, he's always at some kind of party,
He's
and
always at the club. He's always partying.
yeah,
He's always out drinking.
yeah,
The guy looks like worse and worse every time you see him. He looks more and more worn out,
yeah.
not in shape at all.
No,
Like, I mean, I'm sure he does his marathons and shit like that, but I don't see how he does it. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe he's not a drinker, and we don't. He's just out at the club. He just likes to be out and smokes most of the time. So I could see
but
that.
the thing with MMA is it's a lot more or equal, like a mental game. And if your head's not in the game, you can get burned really quick.
And he's not in. From what I can see, he's not in the game.
Yeah, and I don't see him fighting. And I think people are
And if he's under contract with UFC, he's not going to Bellator.
no,
So it's just like
yeah,
he's just
yeah. I
gonna
don't see
tell.
it.
I just see it as like him telling his entourage, "Yeah, they're fucking me over. They're not really. They're
But
lowballing
then,
me.
you know,
They hold me on their
yeah.
contract.
Plus his age. He's already up there in age.
Yeah,
I mean,
34,
I think
35.
he's at his prime. I mean,
I think his prime might be gone already. I think.
oh yeah, maybe yeah. I don't know. I
He's
just
definitely over 30. He's in his mid 30s.
yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe Nate has a chance, but even him, I think his stardom is slowly fading because he's
Yep.
not relevant anymore.
Yep. Chances of Alaquinta getting Connor? What do you think?
I think it's a very good chance.
I think it's a good
I
chance.
think like although Connor's next match against Dustin Poirier, which makes no damn sense at all, someone he already beat, but I can see the logic to it. I mean, they want to. I mean, it's an easy win for Connor.
Yeah.
Um, but I think if Connor wants that rematch with Khabib, he has to go through L. I think L is. I mean, he's proved himself. I think the fact that he went 5 rounds with the champ on
Yeah.
1 day's notice, I think that was a more
And beat
victory.
it.
Yeah, and it was a more victory for him. I I think Connor has to go through L,
I think.
and I think that after when Connor beats Justin Poirier, I think that's the next match to make,
Yeah. I think so too.
especially with 155 being in limbo right now because of both fighters facing suspension from the Nevada State Commission.
Yeah. All right. That's it. That's it. No fights this weekend, really. Next weekend, yeah, the Jones Gus 2 Ryzen. So stay tuned for that. We'll catch you guys all next week. TheMMAComplex.com. Go to the MMA Complex for everything. The MMA Complex, the shirts are up.
Yeah. And you can follow us on social media. You can follow me on Twitter, MMA Complex James, MMA Complex Josh. And you can follow the show on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook on the one name, the MMA Complex. And we won't see you guys until maybe after Christmas. So Merry Christmas to you and your family. Enjoy time with your loved ones, and we'll see you guys next week.